Why does falling in love bring both bliss and anguish? Why does rejection, loss, or unrequited love cut so deep? Think back to the last time you fell in love. Remember the thrill. The butterflies, the late-night texts that seemed to set your soul on fire. The feeling that maybe, just maybe, this person was the one. Falling in love feels magical, almost like stepping into a movie where everything seems to fall into place. But if we're honest, many of us know what happens next. That euphoria starts to fade. In the beginning, everything feels easy. They laugh at your jokes, notice the little things no one else sees, and for a while it feels perfect. Then reality kicks in. The little quirks you once found adorable now get on your nerves. Conflict starts to seep in, not necessarily because the love wasn't real, but because the initial excitement can only carry you so far. What you're left with is two imperfect people trying to coexist. Western culture in particular has romanticized love into an unattainable fantasy. Fairy tales, romantic comedies, even songs tell us that love is the ultimate solution to life's problems. Find the one, and everything will magically fall into place. Your partner will complete you, heal your wounds, and make you whole. But here's the problem. People aren't perfect. Relationships aren't flawless. The expectation that love should always feel amazing sets us up for heartbreak because no one can live up to those ideals forever. When the reality of love, a mix of joy and struggle, inevitably replaces the fantasy, it feels like something has gone horribly wrong. It hasn't. It's just part of what love truly is. And then there's social media. Every time you log on, you're bombarded with images of picture-perfect couples, smiling on tropical vacations, giving surprise gifts, or sharing their "we're the happiest couple ever" updates. It's easy to compare your love story to these highlight reels and feel like you're falling short. But behind every glowing post is an unseen reality. A reality filled with disagreements, frustrations, and doubts. This constant comparison trains us to feel dissatisfied with our real, imperfect relationships. We begin to question, why isn't my love like that? Why don't I feel happy all the time? In chasing perfection, we often fail to see the beauty in the messy, ordinary moments that make love real. Then there's ghosting, a hallmark of our generation's dating culture. Think about how deeply painful it can be to open yourself up to someone only for them to disappear without explanation. It's not just the rejection that stings, it's the unanswered questions. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Ghosting turns the vulnerability of love into a wound that often feels worse than closure. On dating apps, connections can feel temporary, even disposable. With the endless scrolling and swiping, we're subconsciously taught that people are replaceable. This makes every ending feel even more abrupt. Relationships are cut off before they've had the chance to truly grow, and we're left wondering whether the magic of love can ever survive the pressures of this culture. Plato believed that the pain of love is tied to our very nature as human beings. He theorized that humans were once whole, perfect beings split into two halves by the gods. From that point on, we've been searching for the other half that completes us. This idea of soulmates creates a deep longing, but it also comes with an inherent problem. We place the burden of our completeness on another person. That's a weight too heavy for any human to bear. In modern relationships, we carry this same expectation, looking for someone who can fulfill all our needs, understand us perfectly, and never let us down. But the truth is, no person can live up to the ideal we've created in our minds. The result? A cycle of inevitable disappointment and heartbreak. Arthur Schopenhauer offers a far bleaker interpretation of love. According to him, romantic love is not about happiness or connection, it's about nature's agenda. Love is simply a trick to ensure procreation and the survival of the species. We might think we're choosing a partner based on compatibility, but Schopenhauer argued that we're subconsciously picking the person who we believe will produce the most fit offspring. The thrill of falling in love is nature's bait. The problem is, once the biological goal has been achieved or the illusion fades, we're left with a partner who may not actually fulfill us in the long term. That's why, according to Schopenhauer, romantic love often leaves us feeling deceived, abandoned, or deeply unsatisfied. Buddhist teachings take an entirely different approach to understanding love and pain. According to Buddhism, suffering comes from attachment, the desire to cling to something impermanent. Love, no matter how beautiful, is subject to change. People grow, situations shift, and relationships transform. When we cling to love as if it's meant to remain constant, we set ourselves up for heartbreak because we're fighting against the nature of reality. The more we expect our partner to stay the same, fulfill all our desires, or shield us from discomfort, the more we suffer when those expectations inevitably clash with reality. For Kierkegaard, love's pain lies in vulnerability. To truly love someone, you must open yourself up, take risks, and let go of control. But this vulnerability is terrifying. It leaves us exposed to rejection, betrayal, or loss. Kierkegaard believed that many people avoid deep love entirely because they're unwilling to take that leap of faith. For those who do, love becomes a paradox. It brings incredible joy, but also incredible risk. So what do these philosophies tell us? They reveal that love hurts not because we're doing it wrong, but because pain is woven into the very fabric of love. Our expectations, our fears, and even the biological drives that push us to love all play a role in the heartache we feel. But these ideas also offer us clues about how to move forward, how to navigate love in a way that honors its joys without getting crushed by its disappointments. Before we get into how to heal, let's take a moment to explore how modern society has made this ancient pain even more complicated. As if love wasn't challenging enough on its own, modern society has added layers of complexity that often deepen the pain of relationships. From the way we approach dating to how we navigate breakups, modern love feels more fragile, fast-paced, and disposable than ever before. Dating apps promise an endless array of options, convincing us that the next swipe might lead to someone better, smarter, or more attractive. While this can be exciting, it often has a darker side. Research shows that when people are overwhelmed with too many choices, they struggle to commit, both in decisions and relationships. This abundance creates a paradox. When something goes wrong in a relationship, instead of working through the difficulties, many people opt to move on, believing someone else will be perfect. But the truth is, no relationship is free of challenges, and this mindset undermines the deeper bonds that come with time, effort, and mutual growth. One of the cruelest ways modern love amplifies pain is through ghosting, the act of cutting off communication without explanation. Ghosting has become a common way to avoid awkward conversations, but for the person on the receiving end, it can be devastating. Ghosting doesn't just leave you with heartbreak, it leaves you with self-doubt and a whirlwind of unanswered questions. Was I not enough? What went wrong? Did I do something to deserve this? This fear of rejection and silence only deepens the wounds that love inevitably brings. Every time you watch a romantic movie or scroll through social media, you're bombarded with a single suffocating message: love should always feel magical. Instagram feeds show couples on perfect vacations, rom-coms skip over relationship struggles, and even music insists that love will complete you. The reality is that love is messy. There are days when your partner feels distant, when life throws unexpected challenges your way, or when the spark seems to flicker out. But society teaches us to see these moments as red flags rather than natural parts of a relationship. We think, maybe I chose the wrong person, when in reality, we're simply experiencing what it means to love a human being, flaws and all. If the pain of love is so universal and so deeply ingrained in human nature, how can we move forward without losing hope? While we can't eliminate the risks of love, we can learn to navigate its challenges in healthier ways. Plato's idea that we're searching for our other half is compelling, but what if we flip the script? Instead of relying on love to make us whole, we can work toward finding fulfillment within ourselves. By focusing on self-growth, passions, and friendships, love becomes a meaningful addition to life, not the sole source of happiness. Buddhist philosophy teaches us to release attachment to impermanence. Love is fleeting, just like everything else in life. But rather than fearing its end, we can choose to appreciate it in the moment. The key is to love without trying to possess, to see a relationship as a shared journey rather than a fixed destination. For Kierkegaard, love requires risk, vulnerability, and the courage to take a leap of faith. Instead of avoiding the possibility of pain, embrace it as a testament to the depth of your love. Heartache isn't proof that something is wrong with you, it's proof that you've dared to live fully, to connect deeply, and to love without reservation. Practice gratitude. Focus on what love has given you, even if it's no longer in your life. Build resilience. Understand that heartbreak is temporary and use it as an opportunity to grow stronger. Redefine love. Love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about choosing to care for someone, flaws and all, and accepting that they are human just like you. Love is one of the greatest experiences we can have, but it's also one of the most painful. Philosophers throughout history have wrestled with this paradox, and their wisdom reminds us that while the pain of love is inevitable, it's also transformative. Each heartache teaches us more about who we are, what we value, and how we want to show up in the world. So how has love shaped you? Have you found meaning in the pain, or are you still searching for healing? Let's continue this conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, give it a like, subscribe for more thought-provoking content, and remember, love is as much about growing as it is about feeling.